Listen, this episode was sad and pitiful all the way around. Like, I am your girl, Talisa Ray. What's up? How you doing? Ray of Sunshines. I am wishing you a very happy new year. Prosperous, full of love and health and abundance and wealth and kindness and happiness that comes from within and radiates itself out. Happy New Year to you and your family. Since this is the first time I've seen you all year, click the subscribe button if you haven't, and then the notification bell. This way you are part of my family for real. Like, you're a ray of sunshine. Like, yeah, what's up? This whole episode like had you in your feelings, had you just like listen, I needed to watch something joyous after watching Ready to Love season number 3 episode number 10. Baby, let me tell you, I needed a deep breath. Okay, so when the scene opens up, you see Joy and Jay and around the fire pit. They are very playful, and that is how their relationship is, and she just dotes all up on him. She is so affirming. Listen, if his words are if his love language is words of affirmation, she is killing it, because like, just talking about what a great man Jay is overall. On the side over there, we see Khalfani and Denise. And listen, all I can say is Denise is batshit crazy. She's doing shit that we did when we were in our 20s, right? So check this out. In her confessional, she's all like, you know what? I'm not playing it safe anymore. I need to go after what I want. And as they sitting there and they talk, you know, she explains to him that you've been in my top the entire time. And I really want to know how you feeling. Like, what do you think? How are you feeling about you and I? And I thought, well, you know, that's why you asking. Because you feel that there's a little something in the air that has shifted. So now you're about to find out. He tells her that she is no longer his number one. That his number one is now Adriana. Not only that, she had the nerve to ask, can you see her as the mother of your children? Baby, I was like, oh, she's feeling real adventurous today. She's all about getting her heart broke today, because he was like, I thought, ooh, he a little scared himself. Because, you know, one thing Denise is very matter of fact. She makes it plain, even though she seems a little crazy. And so here's where she goes like crazy. Like, okay, excuse me, here's where she just throws out stuff, and I'm all like, first off, when she was like, you just did this without having a conversation with me. So a conversation, what, for your permission? A conversation so that you are aware? But I kind of feel like he made you aware previously, continuously. You know, I commend her for being so courageous, though it does seem kooky, quirky, odd that she would keep putting herself in this situation. We know what we know, and that's why she wanted to ask. So when he said that, you could see in her little face that it was cracked, that her heart was broken. And I said that earlier on, that she's putting all her eggs in this basket, that she really likes him, and she is setting herself up for heartbreak, because we know that jealousy was his red flag. He also shared with her that jealousy was his red flag, but she did try and turn things around and stop being so jealous and stop eyeing them and stop making snide remarks. So we have to give her that credit, and I'm gonna give her credit for being so brave. But this is when I lose it with her. Like, so after that lovely evening that Joy and Jay had by the fire pit, we see Jay coming down the hall. The producers have gone to get him, really solemn looking, really walking fast, and they go to Joy's bedroom, or yeah, her room. And we find out that Joy's baby sister had passed away. Baby, let me tell you something, how right now I'm such an empath. Like, I'm thinking about it, don't know joy from Adam, but my eyes are full with tears. Like, to find out that your sister passed away while you were on the show. Not only that, we find out that she had talked to her hours earlier, so it was totally unexpected. Like, my heart, okay? Like, hello, my sister? Like, I think, how would I feel if I had lost my brother? Like, I'm too much of an empath because it really, 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 like, stabbed me in the inside. Like, to be away, because, you know, she's from Chicago. But to be away and to find this happening, it was just so, like, heart-wrenching. I want to say, you know what, I follow her on Instagram, and on was it Christmas or around Christmas, they talk about the last Christmas photo that they had together, and you see her and her sister. But I didn't go further to like look to see when she passed and all of that. But it just, and I think that might be why I was so emotional about it. But listen, so Jay gets dressed, he goes outside, he's sitting and he's talking with Tommy, because Joy is packing her things. Because, baby, listen, I got to go. I need to go be with my family. I need to understand what happened. Now I got to go ride on this plane. Child. So while he's talking with Tommy, you know, the one thing Tommy said is sometimes you don't know what to say when people pass away. And he's so right. Nothing. Say nothing. Just be there. Just say that I'm available to you. Just make it known that, you know, my presence is here. Just sometimes I think about when my husband passed. I sometimes just wanted somebody to sit and be quiet. Just be there, your presence, and just have some wine with me, but let's not talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's not exchange words, because the words are going to make me cry. Let's sit and watch TV with me. I had some of my sisters by love offer to come and sleep with me because they knew that it would be hard at night. But, you know, I would decline, because being a Virgo, you know, we got to put on this strong face that everything is all right. Everything is okay. I don't do that anymore, because everything isn't always okay. If I need to say I need help, I'm what we call an evolved Virgo. Okay, so the things that Virgos normally do, that ain't me. So when you see Jay hug Joy so she can leave, and that gut-wrenching cry that she had, that one that comes from your solar plexus, like, baby, woo, I can still feel that energy. Like, I know that sound, I know that feeling. When my husband passed and my mother walked in the door, like, his mom was there, had come already. His brother was there already. But I want to tell you, as soon as my mother walked in that door, like, I literally, my mom goes and hugs the other people. I'm so sorry for your loss. When she gets to me, I literally let out that, like, it is a cry that, like, oh my God, like, that makes your knees buckle, that somebody better be holding you because you're going to fall, okay? She needed to get that out before she got on the plane, because she's gonna cry silently, but it won't be that. Whoo, child. Look, listen, I feel it. When Jay got to his confessional, that is the most that I've heard him say about her. Like, all the kind words, all how she's honorable and respectful and beautiful and leads with love, and just all these great things that we didn't hear anything about before. And when she left, I thought, okay, well, Jay's gonna go too, because Jay and Joy, they were one of our couples that were gonna make it to the end. And the connection that they have that we see now, because homeboy had tears in his eyes, like, I was like, yeah. So then Tommy calls everybody, all the cast, to the meeting. Most everybody knows it's very solemn. That, you know, word has gotten around. I'm sure Joy has said something. I'm sure there's been some crying. And, you know, if your room is next to it or across and you hear me crying, guess what you're going to do? You're going to come see what's wrong. You're going to come check on me, especially if we've connected, which these people have, because they've been locked on this last resort for 3-4 weeks, or however long it's been. And he shares that Joy is leaving, that her sister had passed, and that she was on her way to Chicago. That there is no assignment, and I just want you guys to be, because what we know is life is short. Like, what we know what 2020 showed us, if you didn't know already, that we have to live. We have to live now and today, right? So my condolences to Joy and her family, people closest to her that had to help her heal, right? You just never know. You just never know what's happening or what's gonna come or what tomorrow brings. Live your life according to how you want to live. L-I-V-E. Live, love, laugh, do it. Don't have no regrets. I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda, maybe kind of, you know, listen, we know what it is. Live. So then you see Denise and Winter walk, and you know, they just talk about how it puts things in perspective, the things that I just said. Then you see a barrage of people doting on Joy, just talking about how great she is and supporting her and loving her and how grateful they were to have had met her acquaintance. You see Winter, you see Edwin, you see Rashid, you see Adriana, you see Tommy. I don't know if her and Denise didn't have no relationship, but Denise don't say nothing. And Anthony don't say nothing, right? But they probably did and we just didn't see it. Jay says that they connected on every level and it changes him wanting to be there. Rightfully so. That's who his connection was with. He already said, Winter, you know, kiss on the cheek. I'm more into Joy, right? So I'm just expecting him to walk off at any moment. Winter goes and checks on Edwin. We haven't seen the two of them actually connect or communicate again since the brunch where they were all there when the friends met the fellas. She checks in with him because she says that he feels deeply like she does. You know, and I wrote down because he low-key loves her. He low-key loves her. And it's proof that the connection that she had with Jay was stronger than with Edwin. But like I said last episode 9, she broke up with him. She called for Jay, right? Because they had built a relationship that we didn't get to see all of it on camera. When the cameras weren't rolling, how they were laughing and connecting, we didn't get to see any of that, right? And so this is proof that they had some kind of bond, chemistry. So then we see Denise and Khalfani. After Khalfani has told Denise that, listen, Adriana's my number one. She comes back and, you know, she makes spiritual people seem like we weird, like we crazy. Because she was just like, I received clarity. I connected with you know, my higher self. And I've come to a conclusion that I'm starting to love Anthony. So we're going to have to break up. Y'all was together. I know what she meant when she said break up. She should have used better choice of words, meaning we won't be able to have conversations anymore. I'm gonna move forward. Like that's what she meant, right? But Khalfani was probably as confused as the rest of y'all, like, break up. Lord have mercy. I wrote, she is batshit crazy. Again, batshit fucking crazy, because last week or last episode, you was telling Anthony that Khalfani was your number one and that y'all connected on a spiritual level. And Anthony was like, well, let's do that. Let us have that same kind of connection. I was just like, oh, this doesn't look good. This is not going to fare well for Denise. Then she says in her confessional that she was doing what you do when you were a kid, when you were in high school, when you know, in your 20s, late teens, 20s. I just said that to see if he was going to fight for me. He already said that he liked Adriana last night. Like, that was his top pick. He already said that. He already made it plain. And all he said to you was, okay. She made it easy for him to walk away. Now I don't have to tell you that I choose Adriana over you. So then you see Winter, she meets up with Jay and they have a conversation. And I guess because she was his number two, he felt it necessary to tell her first that he felt like he needed to leave and to support Joy. He couldn't do that from here. And you don't have no connection with nobody else. So it was inevitable for him to leave. Had he stayed, we really would have been talking shit about him. We really would have been saying he's a salesman. We don't know who he is. But I'm so glad that his vulnerability was showing, that he showed us that, hey, I like Joy and I want to be there for her. I can't be there for her here. I have to concentrate on this here. So instead of that, I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to bow out gracefully. And at this point, Winter's like, you know what, it's fine because I have a strong connection with Anthony. And I'm all like, no, you don't, sis. But it's cool. That's the only connection that you really have had, and kind of have like sold yourself short, being so beautiful and brilliant and being able to communicate your wants and needs and desires, which is important regardless of how we feel. And if we agreed, that is something about you that I respect, right? And that most women will say that they respect. Not only are you beautiful, but you can articulate what you want. You can be vulnerable and open. Anyway, so Janae, who is Janae? Jay tells the group that he's bowing out gracefully so that he can go and support Joy in whatever capacity that she needs. And I'm all like, doesn't this change the dynamic a bit? No, because we knew that the two of them would have made one of the couples that would have ended at the 3. Now it's just whoever we have left. So everybody's in the tavern with Tommy, and Tommy's all like, okay, so new goal. Refocus the energy on yourself and what you need and what you want. He opens the floor so that if anyone has something they want to share, that they can. Baby Edwin. And the tears that came up out of his eyes. Like, we knew that we liked him partly, right? We knew he talked too much. He rambled too much. He had too much trauma. But Joy made him better. Joy was his only connection. And so he bows out gracefully too and says, you know what? I don't think I would have found love here. It wasn't here because, of course, she broke up with him last week. You know, that whole siren song, like So Long Farewell. And he was like, you know, but I learned so much about myself. I've grown so much about myself. So I think Edwin is going to go and get a therapy that we all are saying that he needed, that Joy has recommended, get some trauma therapy. And Tommy was gracious enough to say, no, you did learn to love someone, and it was yourself. Self-love was gotten during your time here. Yes, Edwin, and we're gonna give him a round of applause because he was open, but he was always open and vulnerable. He didn't have a problem sharing his emotions and stuff, you know, and being connected to Joy in the way that he was. He's like, ain't nobody here I like, ain't nobody left that I like, ain't nobody here I'm talking to, none of that. So yeah, I'm out of here. So here's who we have left now that Joy, Jay, and Edwin are gone. We have Winter, Denise, Adriana, Anthony, Rashid, Khalil. Khalil, that's not his name. Who is Khalil? Khalfani. I'm giving people new names today. And honestly, if this was okay, like if this was the thing, then you would, in a perfect world, it would have been Winter and Anthony, Denise and Khalfani and Adriana and Rashid. But that ain't it. That's not what's happening. So we then see Khalfani and Anthony having a conversation. And just like the women, I don't feel like Khalfani, like it was his responsibility to go and tell Anthony that the girl said that she loves him. Like, what? Like, why would you do that? You know that Denise didn't love him. You know that. Maybe, I guess, to save him. Maybe so that he can understand that there's some red flags. Maybe so he can put the information in his lap and he can do what he wants as he sees fit. I don't know, what y'all think? How do you feel about Khalfani coming and sharing the information with Anthony? I feel like at first it did not, like it raised like some red flags, but at first I think it did not affect him, but later that it did. He also told, you know, just the whole conversation about breaking up with him and all. I was just like, is it that you're jealous and that's why you're saying that? Or are you trying to save face for him? Or are you trying to help him? Like, what are we doing? So now we see Denise and Winter sitting together. And Denise shares with Winter about her breakup with Khalfani. And as sweet as Winter is, you've seen it on her face for a hot second. Like, girl, you broke up with him. Like, y'all was together. And she said in her confessional, she was like, I'm not want to talk about people's mental health state. but that means that you know that there's something happening there, Winter. But she said, I feel like it was just strategy, that was just some strategy, and she is absolutely right, because she told us that that was her strategy. But it does raise some flags for Winter, because of course we know that Denise was Anthony's first pick at first, right? His only pick at first. And so she goes and she pulls him from the crowd to have a conversation, because she wants to check the temperature to make sure that they're on the same page. And she sits down and she has a conversation and just says, you know, I just want to be sure that, you know, I really like you, you know, and considering how things are, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. And he was like, yeah. And he gave her one of them little pecks, you know them pecks you give when people be looking. Well, it's still kind of grandmama-ish, but it's nonetheless, it was a peck, as in to solidify, as in like a handshake that they are on the same page. That's how I saw it. So then you see Rashid and Adriana, and they're on a Jenga date, right? And you know, it's the Jengas where you have to read the stuff. I forget what her said, but he asked, here's what the truth or dare. He said truth, and he wanted to know, is he still her number one? Baby, let me tell you, she went in circles about how, you know, what she's looking for has changed. And I was like, girl, tell your truth. Tell your truth that you don't like him. Tell your truth that you are now interested in Khalfani, that he, you know, floats your boat, that he is, you know, the electrical current that you need. You know what I'm saying? Tell him. It's okay. Tell him. It doesn't make you shallow, but it lets him off the hook. That means that he's not sitting pining after you anymore if you no longer want to be around him. Because to me, your energy says, Rashid, you cool, but I like Khalfani. He has me now. But then again, you know, I could be wrong. Maybe she's just confused. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. Is she just confused? Does she like them for two different reasons? Because Rashid is, you know, a well-rounded gentleman. And then you have Khalfani, who she is physically attracted to. So, you know, these are two different scales that you're trying to balance. And they both offered her something, but she feels like she has to choose. Well, the point of the show is for her to choose. So you have this, you know, and there's some relationships where you don't have to choose. You can have both. Honey, maybe we should talk about it after I finish this book. I think we're gonna have a conversation about relationships don't require you to choose nobody. Maybe she's playing games. Maybe she's confused. Maybe there's a lot of things that's happening, but I want y'all to tell me down below in the comments. I know the ladies are like, she playing games, right? You know, somebody said y'all hating on Adriana Big, like all the older people, I guess I would be older because I'm in my 40s. That we are hating on Adriana because she's young and she's beautiful. I was like, well, you know what? I've been young before, but I'm still beautiful. And there's that. So I think that for me, I'm just looking at the grand scheme. The girl does not like him. I feel like she's just stringing him along because she knows that he has a lot of things to offer. Things that Khalfani may not offer. Honestly, she may not really like either one of them. Anyway, like I said, let me know down below in the comments what you think before I go on and on and on. So we see Denise and Anthony, and they're having a conversation. They were going to having a fireside chat with some champagne. I was like, okay, you know, he's trying to give Denise an opportunity. He is not bringing the information that Khalfani shared. He just wants to see if they still have a connection and what's up. Her first thing is, she says, let's just enjoy one another's company. Because you know you've been my A1 from day one. Not he. When she said that, we all was looking like, girl, why you always lying? Why you always lying? Because we all know that wasn't her first choice. Now, he was rubbing her feet on day one, but that ain't been her A1 from day one. He was like A2 from day one. Okay, maybe B2 from day one. I don't know. She just sounds real crazy to me. And he pulls her coattail and reminds her that she had a connection with Khalfani. Okay, let me remind you that you had a connection with Khalfani. She looks like she's confused and want to know why he bringing him up. because you're lying. She says to him that their relationship is effortless. If it was so effortless, he would have been your number one, right? The thing is, you were more physically attracted to Khalfani, and that's okay. That's okay. And now that he doesn't want you, you have to go to your second choice. That's why we have choices, child. That's why you have these choices, and you date all these people at one time, so that when one falls through and proves that he isn't who you thought he was or what you wanted, you have a backup plan. Just make sure you're being honest in your relationships, right? If you're dating, that's what you say. I know for me, I say I'm dating, so that people understand that means dating more than one person. When he says in his confessional that it was ingenuine, because she also said, I love you, or some shit. She was writing in the air like a crazy person. And he was like, he saw it as ingenuine. And now I wrote, now she's just trying to stay in the game. So we're back in Tommy's tavern. And Tommy says, it's time to get rid of the fakes. It's time for you to choose. Who is it gonna be? So when you think about it, because I said in a perfect world, those three people would line up accordingly, but it's not a perfect world. So here in the triangles, you have Adriana, who likes Rashid and Khalfani, and then you have Anthony, who likes Denise and Winter. And if Denise wasn't batshit crazy, it would be Denise who likes Anthony and Khalfani. But this week you gotta tell them. You're going to tell them that they out. And we're going to help you. We're going to introduce them to your families. Families is a big dynamic. And the reason being is because your family knows you, has been with you for a long time, knows exactly what you need. Like for me, who I would bring on is my cousin Karen. And my mother wouldn't give much opinion, so I'd probably give my brother, who would drill the fuck out of them. Both of them will. Like, and what is your, and this, and who, and how, like, you know who to bring on in order to get the answers to the questions that you want, okay? Understand, it would be my cousin Karen and my brother Jay. Boom. I wrote down, Denise is such a beautiful woman. Like, she is doing herself a disservice. Her body is banging. She looks good in that goldish yellow with that belt. Girl, I was like, if you don't work, if you don't slay, come on and do some more work. Lean into some more healthy shadow work. See what it is that's bothering you that makes you act the way that you do. Anyway, so Anthony says, you know what, I want to talk to Denise. After this conversation, he immediately goes to Denise and is like, look, let me holler at you a second, player. Let me holler at you real quick. And tells her, you know what, I'm all in with Winter. Doesn't mince words, doesn't take, you know, a whole lot of time, but I want you to know that I'm all in with Winter, and I respect you, so I don't want to be having you trail along any longer. I wrote, she did it to herself. Sometimes quiet. When she was with Khalfani, she should have been quiet. When she was with Anthony at the fireside, quiet. Sometimes we ruin our own shit by talking too much, getting in our head. Sometimes silence is the best answer. That's how you really know when you connected spiritually, because you get quiet and you start evaluating, and she would have been known that Khalfani was no longer for her. Anyway, he then says, she was like, well, I guess you know what, I'm going to have to lean on, there's Khalfani, we still have this connection or whatever. And he busts her out and was like, well, Khalfani and I had a chat, and he said he was going all in with Adriana. I'm going to need him to tell me that himself. Yeah, Anthony, that wasn't your place to share that. Did y'all sit and have a conversation and say, okay, Anthony, you're the spokesperson for us, and you're going to tell her that neither one of us want her? Nah, bruh, that's not how fellas work. Hell, that ain't how grown-ass women work either. We gonna tell you ourselves. Hello. Honey, listen. So she tells him, you can have him come over here. You know, these people be dismissing you. I can't stand being dismissed. I can't stand being ignored. I don't like being made to feel stupid. I don't like none of that. So her telling him, okay, well, you can go get him and tell him. I would have been like, okay, girl, you can tell him yourself. You could wave him over here, because I ain't telling him shit. But because Anthony placed himself in the middle of that, I guess he had to. I don't know. Well, Khalfani came over there and told her, Adriana is my top. I'm focusing all my energy on her. You know, that whole conversation, you might have moved too soon. Talk about you breaking up and you focusing on Anthony. That's kind of on you. Because he didn't say that he wasn't still dealing with her. But you made it easy for him. Honey, and so when she, you know, makes her grand exit, and then in her confessional, she says she needs a man who is willing to do the work. And I'm sorry, hold on. So Khalfani is like, I'm not gonna be going back and forth. I'm not gonna do it, okay? And so now she says she needs a man who is willing to do the work, that is confident, and that's gonna fight for her. And I wrote down, ladies, specifically in this instance, Denise, when we want a man to be confident, the things that we want in a man, we have to exhibit ourselves. You have to be able to match that energy as such with confidence. You want him to be confident, sis? No man wants an insecure woman. The only men that want insecure women are men that are ready to manipulate you and use you to their advantage, or want to 48 laws of power you. Most men who are confident want a confident woman as well. Well, listen, y'all let me know, honey, because she sauntered off, sashayed off, honey, like they lost, okay? It is they lost, Denise. You should feel like it's their loss, but hopefully you're watching this and you're looking like, oh, maybe I did look a little crazy, and maybe we're going to hear that on the reunion. Y'all let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this episode. It was super somber. It was super somber. People was getting broken up with. People was leaving. Like, what's the point am I here for? Like, oh, it was a lot. Okay, I am your girl Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Child, all the things is wrong. Ready to Love season 3 episode number 10. If it's your first time visiting my channel, definitely click the subscribe button, become a ray of sunshine. Also, there is the notification bell. Click it too, so you're alerted of when I upload videos. Like this video because you like me. Share this video with your friends, because why? They need to know what we're talking about. I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.